Did you know that your brain literally runs on electricity? And that by 2 p.m. most days, that electrical signal slows down like it's trying to get Wi Fi in a basement from 2004? I'm not joking. Your neurons fire at a slower speed in the afternoon, like a tired bartender who's just done taking drink orders. And it's not because you didn't try hard enough, or because you're not a morning person, or because you skipped a leg day. It's because your brain's running a marathon through sludge, and nobody taught you how to clean the track. You ever have that moment? It's 2:47 p.m. You're staring at a Google Doc like it personally insulted your family, trying to remember how to spell the word business. And then, 8 seconds later, you're watching a video of a raccoon doing backflips on a trampoline, wondering where your life went? Yeah, that crash. I lived there for years. Every single afternoon, I would hit a mental wall so hard, I swear you could hear the windows shut down noise in the background of my soul. Thought I was broken. Thought I needed more caffeine, more motivation, more discipline, more bulletproof routines and biohacks and fasting windows and blue light glasses and a cold plunge built by monks in the Alps. But nothing worked. Not sustainably. Not really. Until one day I crashed so hard, I snapped. Not in a dramatic movie way, just in that quiet, tired, I can't keep doing this kind of way. That low-key mental breakdown where your body's still upright, but your spirit is hiding under the desk, eating cereal straight from the box. And it was from that moment that something finally shifted. Not because I pushed harder, but because I stopped lying to myself about how I was living. And I made 3 tiny, stupidly obvious changes that finally killed the crash for good. All right, first thing you need to understand. Your crash isn't a character flaw. It's not laziness. It's not lack of willpower. It's a biological protest. Your brain is basically throwing a little tantrum, saying, "Hey, buddy, I can't keep pretending to be a productivity robot while you feed me lies, fear, and ultra-processed sadness." And I get it. We wake up and immediately start running. Phone, scroll, guilt, to-do list, emails, meetings, pressure, deadlines. That never-ending I'm behind voice in your head, screaming while you eat a granola bar over the sink and pretend to hydrate with a triple espresso. And then you wonder why by mid-afternoon, you feel like someone hit the dimmer switch on your soul. So let's fix it. Starting with the first thing I changed. Change number 1. I stopped trying to focus and started feeding my brain what it actually needs to reboot. You ever try to force yourself to focus when your brain is shot? Like trying to squeeze toothpaste out of an empty tube while someone yells, "Be more productive," from across the room? It doesn't work. And here's the truth no one talks about. Focus is not the beginning. Focus is the result. You don't focus your way into energy. You recharge your way into focus. For me, that meant creating what I now call the noon reset ritual. Sounds mystical, I know. It's not. It's literally 12 minutes. That's it. But it's sacred. I shut my laptop. I put my phone on airplane mode like I'm on a fake flight to nowhere, and I sit, eyes closed, back straight, zero stimulation. Just me, my thoughts, and the uncomfortable silence we're all addicted to avoiding. You know what happens around minute 4? All the noise starts bubbling up. Regret. That awkward email. That thing I forgot to do. That reel I compared myself to this morning. It all rises. But if you stay there long enough, something magical happens. The noise burns off, like fog burning off a field. And under it, clarity, calm, energy. I come back to my desk with this clean, quiet confidence, like I just reset the whole operating system. No hacks, no supplements, no monk training, just stillness. And before you roll your eyes, ask yourself this. When's the last time you sat in silence on purpose, without trying to fix yourself? Change number 2. I stopped eating lunch like I hated myself. Let's talk about food, or more specifically, the productivity lunch trademark. You know the one. the sad desk salad, the protein bar that tastes like chalk, the smoothie you chug between meetings like you're trying to win a speed eating contest. Here's the truth. I used to eat lunch like I was fueling a machine. Efficient, clean, quick. But I forgot one thing. I'm not a machine. I'm a walking chemistry experiment with a gut microbiome that has opinions. You ever eat a big lunch and then want to nap for a year? Or eat a healthy one and still feel like your soul is melting? That's not food. That's biochemical betrayal. So I started eating like someone who gave a damn about how he felt 2 hours later. No more sugar bombs, no more ultra-processed sadness. Just stuff I could identify by name and feel good about. Vegetables, eggs, a little rice, avocado, real food. Not sexy, not trendy. But guess what? I didn't crash. I stopped giving my gut the equivalent of emotional whiplash, and it stopped slapping me in the face with fatigue. Food is not just fuel, it's information. And when I fed my body the right information, it finally stopped screaming at me to shut down halfway through the day. Change number 3, I stopped trying to remember everything. Okay, this one's gonna hit hard, because if you're anything like me, your brain is a browser with 76 tabs open, 4 playing music, and 1 flashing an error message in Russian. Every little thought, I need to reply to that email. I forgot mom's birthday. Did I say something weird in that meeting? Why didn't they text back? Did I leave the stove on in 2009? Those thoughts are not harmless. They're energy vampires. Tiny mental leaks draining your focus, your peace, your will to live. And most of us carry them all day without even realizing it. So I started doing something I call the mental inbox sweep. Twice a day, morning and post-lunch, I grab a notebook, open a blank note, whatever, and I dump every single open tab in my brain. No filter, no pressure, just brain vomit. And what happens next is wild. The moment I put it on paper, my brain goes, cool, that's handled. I can chill now. You don't even have to do anything with the list. Just getting it out is enough. Because your brain isn't built to store 5,000 unfinished loops. It's built to create, respond, and rest. But it can't do any of that when it's juggling your entire existential to-do list like a stressed-out octopus on Adderall. You want to kill your afternoon crash? Close the tabs, free up the RAM, give your brain some freaking peace. Now let me tell you the story that changed everything for me. A while back, I had what I thought was a heart attack. No joke. Full chest tightness, arm numbness, panic. I was alone in my apartment on a Tuesday mid-afternoon. I hadn't eaten. I'd been staring at a screen for 7 hours, and I hit the wall hard. My body just said nope. Went to the ER tests, scans, vitals. Doctor looks at me and goes, "You're not having a heart attack. You're just completely depleted. Your nervous system is fried." I laughed, then cried. Because I realized this is what burnout looks like. Not dramatic, not flashy, just a slow, quiet suffocation of your own needs. I wasn't weak, I wasn't broken, I was just exhausted. And from that day forward, I swore to never treat my energy like an afterthought again. So if you're watching this right now and you feel tired, not just physically, but existentially tired, like you've been sprinting inside your own head for months, this is your sign. You don't need more pressure. You need permission. Permission to rest, permission to eat like someone who matters, permission to reset without guilt, permission to write it down instead of holding it all inside. Because here's the truth. Your energy is sacred, and the crash isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's your body whispering what your brain refuses to admit. We can't keep doing it like this. But here's the good news. You can change it. Today. With something as simple as sitting in silence, eating something real, unloading your mental inbox. You don't have to change your whole life. Just stop betraying your biology. Show up for yourself, like you'd show up for someone you love. Because the truth is, you are not behind. You're just buried, and it's time to come back to the surface. One breath, one bite, one thought at a time.